Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll review some important back-to-school safety tips courtesy of the Vernon Hills Police Department. We'll see what's in store for this year's Oktoberfest, planned for Saturday, September 24th at the Vernon Hills Metro Station. We'll get ready for the Countryside Fire Pancake Breakfast and Open House coming up on Sunday, October 9th. And we'll visit one of the village's new restaurants, the Claim Company, located on the north side of Hawthorne Mall. Thank you for tuning into the Vernon Hills Update.
Hi, this is Kim Christensen with the Vernon Hills Police Department's Crime Prevention Unit, and I'm standing here in front of Hawthorne Schools out on Hawthorne Parkway. There's not a whole lot of traffic right now. It's not too bad. Of course, it's August. By the time you see this, school's going to be rocking and rolling. There's going to be a lot of traffic. There's going to be a lot of students. So it's time for us to go over some safety tips that you can share with your children, but more importantly, that you as a motorist can follow as well. Now, first off, remember that school-age children can easily become distracted and may start across the street without any warning at all. They don't understand the dangers of moving vehicles because they can't judge the speed or the distance of vehicles. They also may be blocked from view by buses and vehicles. More importantly, children expect that vehicles are going to stop for them at school stops and at stop signs. You have to expect the unexpected as a motorist. Be watchful for children going to and from schools and also at bus stops. Please get in the habit of recognizing the school zones on your route of travel. They're not hard to spot. There's plenty of signs. If you see a marked crosswalk, remember that drivers must come to a complete stop, not just slow down, and yield. You have to yield when a pedestrian is in a marked crosswalk. On school days, when children are in close proximity to a school crosswalk, you also have to yield. Look for bicycles, children walking, and crossing guards. Motorists scan between parked vehicles looking for children. Remember, they're small, you might not see them, and be prepared to take evasive action fast. Drive with your headlights on so children and other drivers can see you. Most importantly, avoid using cell phones while you're driving, especially during school and after school hours. Now, everybody knows this. The law's been into effect for a couple of years now. Remember, with few exceptions, including using a hands-free device or calling 911, it is illegal to use a cell phone on a roadway at any time. Now, all of the rules of the road and all the traffic laws are incredibly important. However, when it comes to schools and school situations, the two that I want to focus on right now are buses and school zone speeding. Okay, first, let's talk about school buses and those flashing lights and what they mean. A school bus flashing yellow lights are a warning to you, the motorist, that the bus will soon be stopping to load or unload passengers. The driver is going to activate those lights during the last 100 feet or so the bus is traveling before stopping. If you see those flashing lights, those yellow flashing lights, you should be ready to stop. The extended stop signal arm and flashing red lights advise motorists the bus has stopped and is loading or unloading passengers. Now let's clear up a misunderstanding. When a school bus is traveling on a two-lane roadway and is stopped to pick up or drop off pupils, the vehicles in all directions of traffic must stop. Vehicles should stop at least 20 feet before reaching the school bus to allow pupils to cross the roadway safely. Now, when a school bus is traveling on a 4-lane roadway with at least 2 lanes of traffic traveling in the opposite direction, only those lanes of traffic traveling in the same direction as the school bus must stop. And a good example of that is, in fact, Hawthorne Parkway. A violation of this law can include a suspension of your driver's license and a fine of up to $150 for your first offense. After that, the penalty is harsher. Now remember, the school bus laws apply in parking lots also, not just on the street. In other words, they apply at any location. Okay, let's move on to speeding in school zones. And there's the sign. It's pretty simple. Speed limit 20 on school days when children are present. Important to remember that Illinois law, the school zone is in effect from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on school days when children are present. Effective January 1st, 2016, the school zone speed law was amended slightly. In Illinois, if you are traveling 26 to 34 miles per hour over the school speed limit, that's a Class B misdemeanor. If you're traveling 35 or more over the speed limit, it's a Class A misdemeanor. So you can see the penalties have increased depending on the severity of the charge. Finally, parents, please share some tips with your children for safe walking, whether they're walking to the school, whether they're walking to the bus stop, whether they're crossing the street. Please share these things. First off, and this is an old rule but still a good one, parents, instruct your children to look both ways before they cross the street. They should cross the road only where there are crosswalks, and they should walk, never run, when they're crossing the street. If they're near the school or there's a crossing guard or a traffic signal, please tell them to obey the directions by the crossing guards. If they live near the school and they're walking to school, be sure they cross the street where the crossings are marked and there are guards. That's there for their own safety. Instruct them never to play by parked cars and never to chase anything into the street. Finally, be extra careful in bad weather. When it's raining hard or the snow and ice is flying, it's going to be harder for drivers to see them. Thank you for watching these safety tips. Please take an opportunity to share them with your children. And please, if you're driving, please be as safe as you can. The residents of Vernon Hills thank you very much. On behalf of Chief Mark Fleischauer and the rest of the Vernon Hills Police Department, we hope you have a great fall. We'll see you next time.
Well, we are here at Village Hall to talk with Miss Monica Lundeen about Oktoberfest coming up on Saturday, September 24th at the Metro Station. So we're doing it again. How many years have we been doing this?
This is going to be 12, I believe.
Yeah.
11 or 12.
Yeah, because it started way back with the hurricanes.
Katrina.
Yeah. So.
With Katrina, yeah. We raised over $50,000 in a 2-week period of time. We put this on to help other people, nonprofits, a sister city of ours in Mississippi. It was a fabulous event, and it's nice that the village wants to keep giving back. So our way of giving back on this event from then is that we have nonprofits doing all the food booths, and whatever they make is theirs. We don't charge them to be there. We put up tables and everything, and whatever they make is theirs, which is nice.
Yeah, so that's why we always say for Oktoberfest, it's a typical community fest, but that idea of come with a big appetite and a pocket of money, because if you buy pie from the seniors, the money goes to the senior center. If you help, youth and family counseling, if you buy a slice of pizza for somebody, it goes right to those nonprofits, right. The whole amount.
Right, and and the same nonprofits are going to be there this year that have been in the past. So come out and help support them. We're still going to have, we've got this great band. We had them in 2012. They're called UFC Band, Ultimate Freaking Cover Band. They're absolutely high energy. They put the best songs together. They're 70s until today, between popular rock, pop, alternative, metal, dance, classic rock, but it's just really fun and high energy, and everybody has a good time. You can come out there and you're going to be dancing, because there isn't a song that you're not going to like. You can go onto their website. They list a crazy amount of songs that, from Rockin' Me, Steve Miller Band, to Led Zeppelin, to Van Morrison, Young MC, Kid Rock, Lady Gaga, Jimmy Buffett, Taylor Swift, Duran Duran, Chuck Berry, or Van Halen. I mean, these are great songs, and they're fun, high energy, and it is your show. So it's going to be great.
Well, and you don't have to pay for that part. You just come on over, and they're scheduled from 7 to 10. I know they're going to have to take a break because they are high energy. They're going to have a little break in there and get a glass of water at some point. But from 7 to 10, you've got a free music because there's no like ticket price or anything.
Yeah, and that's what's nice. The village sponsors this whole event party. And we have free face painting, we've got kids crafts, we've got inflatables, we've got balloon artists, we've got Hunter coming in again to do his magic. We've got a free hayride from the Park District. The face painting and all of these items are timed, and when they're done, they're done. There'll be an officer or staff standing there saying, I'm sorry, but they're only going to be there from 3 to 5 for face painting. When the kids' crafts are done, they're done. When the pumpkins are done, they're done. We ask
Meaning when you run out, because you go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stuff.
We do 500 pie pumpkins, and we ask that people just take one so that all other children can have one too. We understand you may have a kid at home that couldn't come, but it's really for those that are there, and we try to, have as much stuff as we can to give away because that's what we are. We're, community orientated.
And a lot of that freeness is thanks to a lot of your sponsors who step up and go, here, we're going to give you this amount of stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And our sponsor this year is the Village. The Village is sponsoring the entire thing. No donations from anyone. It is going to be strictly a Village event where they sponsor the entire thing, which is, how awesome is that? How many towns can you go to that you've got a Village board and trustees that are so giving to the community? And it's just a thank you, end of season thank you for all that we can give you, and it's just really nice. We'll have beer and wine there, coffee and pop, food. What costs you is your beer and wine with your pop and your food. Otherwise, everything is free. Come at 3 o'clock because when all of these items are gone, they're gone.
With the little kids, that's what the little kids come in early. Are there going to be any bouncy houses?
That's the inflatables. The inflatables will be here from 3 to 7.
And they do start taking those down when it's time for the dancing to start. So don't be sad if your child comes late. It's like at some point they roll them up and put them away.
Absolutely. The face painting is from 3 to 5. The kids' crafts are until they're gone, and when they're gone, they're gone. The pumpkins, the same thing. You're going to paint the pumpkins. Home Depot will be out there again helping us paint them. The balloon artist is only there from 3 to 5. So if you're in line and we say, I'm sorry, this is when the line ends, we apologize, but it does cost us to do this, and we appreciate you coming out, and we appreciate that they've given us a discount on their service. However, we can only have it for so many hours. So please come out at 3 o'clock, get in line, and get your food and have a great time. And then parents come back in the evening and have a really good time because you're going to really love this band. If you were here in 2012, you are going to absolutely love this band because it's really high energy and so much fun to be around.
It's really a great time to be with your neighbors or invite friends over because it's a nice, free, fun evening. You're helping the community. You're helping the nonprofits. There's a nice tent in the Metro parking lot, too. So even if it gets a little drizzly or something, you've got a place to sit.
Oh, we're not going to have rain.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we're going to have a beautiful day like we had last year and the year before. It's going to be fun. A special thanks goes out to Public Works because they do so much work for me and this village for helping to put up this beautiful event. The police are there, and they do such a great job, and we absolutely adore them. The village board, village president, all the staff here that helps here at the Village Hall. It's an amazing event that cannot be done by one person. It's done by, everybody in each building that we have here in the community, from the volunteers to the staff that's at each building. We thank them all because we can't do this without them.
And it's a nice thank you back to the community. It's a great it's a great way to start the fall or get right into that season, and it's a tradition. And if you've never been, make it, put it on your calendar. And if you've been, you know what you're looking forward to. So that's Saturday, September 24th at the Vernon Hills Metro Station on Route 45. Plenty of parking, or walk or ride your bike over there 3 to 10, and it's a great time. So we'll do it again.
Yeah, great.
Thank you to all who are taking part in making this happen. Thank you to Monica and all the staff who's doing this. And we'll see everybody on Saturday, September 24th.
Come on out.
We are at Countryside Fire Station with Fireman Tony Rodkey. And Tony, we're talking in September when people are watching this, but we want to get everybody geared up for something coming up at the beginning of October. It's your open house coming up again.
Yeah, on October 9th, the Great Chicago Fire occurred.
Did it really?
Yes, and that is the first Sunday of Fire Prevention Week, which is going to be our pancake breakfast and open house Sunday, October 9th from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon right here at 600 Deer Path Drive. I hope you can all stop by.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. If you're new to the neighborhood or you're new to town, this is like a big event. This is like draws a lot of people to come and have a big family pancake breakfast. And there is a cost for that, but it goes to a good cause.
Absolutely. It's our Firefighters Association annual fundraiser, the pancake breakfast from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon. And the funds go to various charities, and sometimes when we need special equipment, we'll get that as well. But yeah, we have about 2,000 people that show up annually. It is one of the big community events, and it's well worth it. We have the inflatable crawl-through fire truck for the kids. We have some demonstrations. We have local vendors showing their fire safety and life safety equipment and supplies. You get a tour, you get to meet all the firefighters, see all the trucks up close, get in there, sit in them, touch and feel everything. It's a great event.
It is a great event. It's one of those things that a lot of people look forward to. That's why we're telling you about it in September, because we don't want the beginning of October to roll in and you've missed it. So that's October 9th as they go into October, which is Fire Prevention Month. Is that the word for it?
Well, unofficially it is, but Fire Prevention Week kicks it off, and we do a lot of fire safety programs in October.
We'll probably come back and talk to you again about this, but one of the things that your push for this year's annual pancake breakfast is you'd like people to not only change the batteries in their smoke alarm, but you're going to want them to change out their whole smoke alarm.
Actually, that is the National Fire Protection Association's theme this year. Don't wait, check the date. Change your smoke alarms, replace your smoke alarms every 10 years.
And you're finding, I was just telling you, we went through this at our house. We've been changing the batteries, but they were starting to get a little dicey, so we had to go in and change them all out. You want people to do that.
Absolutely. And most manufacturers will recommend to change those out after 10 years maximum.
And it's not a hard job. We did it ourselves. Of course, the connections are always weird, like because you have to put a new plate up. But it's a little bit of work, but not bad.
Typically a couple screws, exactly.
Exactly. We could handle that. So that's the push for this October, and actually for all the time. That's a big push for you this year. Let's talk about something else we want to talk about. We're coming into the fall season, but people are still going to be grilling. People are still going to be eating outside because that's what we do around here. And I know you have concerns about that.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that you have a grill that's at least 15 feet away from your house, not on wooden decks. The brick pavers, the asphalt, the concrete patios, that's fine, but not on those wooden decks. Have the proper size lid, make sure it's level. Extinguish those coals with water. Fully extinguish those coals. That's very important. Close up all the valves on top and below the grill so those embers don't sift out. Use oven mitts, those thick oven mitts, to protect your hands from getting burned. Have the proper tools to prevent yourself from getting burned, and make sure that grill's far enough away and on a non-combustible surface.
Yeah, that non-combustible surface, that's tough for some of us. So really do make a space for the grill. And you've always said too, just like in the kitchen, you want a clear zone for everything. You don't want everybody hopping around when you're trying to cook.
That's what we call the safe zone, yeah. Keep the kids back, let them play with the toys somewhere other than right behind you in the kitchen. Watch what you heat. Again, have the proper size lid and the oven mitts to keep yourself from getting burned.
Very good. So that's grilling, but we're also, when we come into fall, we have more burning, whether it be in fire pits or people just trying to get rid of leaves, which we're not supposed to burn those leaves.
That's true. Vernon Hills does have an ordinance, no open burning. That means no leaves, no brush. However, if you have a specified burn container, such as a grill, you can burn firewood in it, according to the manufacturer's recommendations. But no brush, no leaves, no open burning in Vernon Hills. You can't get cited for that from the police department.
Well, and tell people why it is. It's not just, smoke a nuisance, but like those leaves, when they catch, they go, and you've had to put out some roof fires.
If it gets a little breezy, yes, that wind can carry those embers, and due to the close proximity of the homes, it can cause your neighbor's house to catch on fire, which then can cause somebody else's house, and so on and so forth.
So very straightforward, no open burning. And plus you can have the leaves and stuff picked up. It's easy enough around here. And if you have questions about how to do that, call the Village Hall. They'll help you with that. So those are some pretty basic tips. Now when we come to, let's go back to the October 9th, Sunday, October 9th, your pancake breakfast, an open house, and you'll see it's going to be a busy place over here. People can park across the street, they can walk, they can ride their bike. But that's a great place to be reminded of some of these safety tips.
Yeah, I get a chance to talk with me. I hope you can make it, and you'll see all the different boards up and displays that will reinforce the fire and life safety messages we promote all year long.
Excellent. So thank you very much for opening the doors of the station once again so we can come over and see what's going on over here. Thank you for the information. There's information online. You can call Fireman Tony. You can email him if you have questions, if you have specific things. But I know we always like to leave people with the same thing because we always get nervous. When is it an emergency, or when should I just chill? Remind people about that.
Well, when in doubt, call it out, 911. If you're asking, should I call? The answer is yes. Pick up the phone, dial 911 if you're not sure.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody here on the crew, and we will see you on October 9th.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lynn.
We are at the Claim Company on the north side of Hawthorne Mall. We're with Michael Holub, who's the managing partner here. If you've been over here with the big night crowds, you've probably met him. We're here at a little bit of a quiet time so we can get a chance to talk to Michael and the Claim Company. When did you guys open up here? It hasn't been that long.
We opened up at the end of April, and going pretty well. I'm very happy. Been about 5 months. Building every week, people finding us in the backside of the mall, and looking for more.
Well, let's talk about that. It is the backside of the mall, so if you can't really see it from the main drag, but come around the back, and it's easy parking because it's right by one of the main entrances.
Yeah, we're right by Macy's, in between Macy's, JCPenney's. Plenty of parking. We have outdoor dining, so you can see the umbrellas and our sign, and come on in.
Well, let's talk about the history, because if you've been around the area for a while, the Claim Company, we know it from Northbrook Court, and I understand there was even history around before that. Can you go back a little bit and tell us about the Claim Company?
Sure. The Claim Company was founded by Jim Ahrens, 1973 in Chicago. The first place was on Clark and Belden. Then he expanded to Northbrook in 1979, and then 1981 it was Oak Brook Mall. So basically been in mall situations since. We opened up, the Claim Company closed in 98, all of them. And then myself and my partner, who actually worked for Jim, who ran the restaurants, we had the opportunity to reopen the Claim Company. So Northbrook was our first location back, felt like it would bring it back home. And then I live in Vernon Hills, and found this opportunity to reestablish it here also in Hawthorne Mall. And happy to be a part of the community and hopefully be a long stay here. And
That's what we hope too, and it's nice to have somebody who lives in Vernon Hills, loves Vernon Hills, ready to see something flourish like this. And there is a place for like a restaurant with a wide menu. Do you want to talk a little bit about what this place is like when you walk in, like the ambiance? How dressy do you need to be? What can I expect when I come on in?
Well, we're known for our gourmet hamburger, the Motherlode. That's how we got started. Also, we have an enormous salad bar. Northbrook is a self-serve. We're in Vernon Hills. We've changed it where we actually have chefs behind who you go up, you pick what you want, and they build it for you. And then we have wraps, sandwiches. My favorite is our fajitas. I think we have the best fajitas in town. And so a little bit for everybody. Great kids menu. And then we also have a party room that we use as regular dining during the week. But during the week, we look for businesses, weekend showers.
How many can you fit in?
We can fit 80 people, as small as 20.
It's a nice room off to the side, and it does get busy, so I know you do put people in there. And I also know, I was looking on your website, I didn't realize this, I guess I didn't pay attention. You also serve some dietary restrictions, like if you're gluten-free or dairy-free for your vegetarian. You've got options for all that.
Yeah, we have a large selection of gluten-free items as well as vegan. Obviously, the salad bar gives a lot to that and helps that. Very conscious of, obviously, nut-free, dairy-free. So we're able to accommodate pretty much everybody.
Let's go back into that. The menu is extensive, and it's kind of got a little for everybody, like you said. Lunch and dinner, correct?
Correct. Lunch, dinner, catering. We do off-premise catering, banquets, business, and we'll also do delivery online. We use DoorDash, so you could also get that lunch and dinner actually online and order.
That's nice. And so if I go to your website, and if I go to your website, not only can I learn about all these things in your menu, I can make my reservation a little bit ahead too.
Yes, you can make reservations online. We always recommend that. Usually it's maybe 10, 15 minutes on the weekends at most, but that's when if we have an hour wait, that's the most you wait, so it's quite convenient.
Well, and talk about this space. This space is beautiful. We've seen some other people in here, but you've kind of reconfigured. So you've got the bar, you've got the high tops. How many people can you serve all at once?
Well, the seating capacity is around 250. Outside expands it a little bit more. We did redo it, so before it was a very open space. We've kind of closed it up a little bit, made it a little bit more cozier. The bar, extensive. We have 18 tap handles and booth area and high tops, so it separates a little bit of both, and it's got a little bit of something for everybody.
Well, when you talk about 18 tap handles, so are we talking like some of the craft brews from around, or some of the beers like that?
Yeah, we have 16 craft brews, and then we have 2 of your local or domestic.
Well, and and you've got also the screens all around. That's the other thing I've noticed when I've been here with my kids. If there's something on TV, you've got a number of screenings, including the giant ones in the meeting room.
Yeah, we've got a lot of TVs today. Everybody needs to be stimulated, so sports is the majority of it. Obviously, we're a big sports town, so obviously Cubs, Sox, Bears, and the Hawks. So if you want to see that, we'll always have those on.
Excellent. You guys, you're open every day starting at 11. I know the weekends, the ending is a little bit differently, but every day at 11, so I can come over here and have lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, during the week, it's 11. Last seating's 9 o'clock Monday through Thursday. Fridays, Saturdays, 10 o'clock is our last seating. Sunday, we go to 8 o'clock is our last seating.
Well, from one Vernon Hills resident to another, formally welcome from the Vernon Hills Update. Thank you for being here. If you want to know more about the Claim Company, the easiest thing is just come around. Drive around the back of the mall. You'll see it. Come on in. Sit out on the patio. It's a beautiful place to be. Call over and ask questions, or look on the website. A lot of information on there, including how to get your reservation ahead of time.
Yes, so www.theclaimcompany.com.
Thanks for taking the time. Good luck with everything. We'll see you again when we come back to eat. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Stordo at 847-918-3560 or email mikes@thehills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.